This is Nicole Trujillo. So I am the chair of the Summon Working Group, and it is my great pleasure to bring to you today's Piecing Together Summon over Alma documentation by James Day, who is the Electronic Services Librarian at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Hello, my name is James Day. My session is titled Piecing Together Summon over Alma documentation. I'm the Electronic Services Librarian at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida, and I'm also a member of the Summon Product Working Group. My library, the Jack R. Hunt Library, supports about 6,000 resident students as well as 30,000 online students in our worldwide campus. We have used Summon, which we have branded Eagle Search, for over 10 years. Last year, we completed a migration from Ex Libra's Voyager to Alma. We kept Summon, which became Summon over Alma. And the biggest challenge for me was moving from 360 Link to the built-in Alma link resolver. Most libraries today, when implementing Alma, also implement Primo as their discovery service. I understand that Ex Libris will not sell you Summon and Alma together as a package, and maybe Ella can correct me if I'm wrong on this later. Summon over Alma was developed to allow existing Summon users to adopt Alma without having to change their discovery service. This was the case with my library. By keeping Summon, we could convince our university that our migration from Voyager to Alma was a back-end upgrade. Also, there would also be less disruption to our library users who are already familiar with using Summon. Before our recent Alma migration, we were maintaining 3 systems: a Voyager ILS, an Ex Libris 360 link resolver, and Summon. Summon over Alma reduced this to 2 systems, effectively combining the functionality of the OPAC for searching the collection, accessing user accounts, and item self-renewal, with the link resolver for accessing our electronic resources. Since the subject of this customer session is integration and interoperability with other products, I'll talk a little bit about Alma Summon integration. While it's clear that Alma and Summon over Alma are 2 separate products, the Summon and Alma services interfaces do look less consistent than Summon and 360 Link do. They are integrated in a few important ways. Summon over Alma provides real-time availability for library holdings, a way to search and browse course reserves, menu links to journal search and citation linker pages, access to My Account pages to access your library account in Alma, and the publishing of library print, electronic, and digital holdings to Summon. I'll go into these in a little more detail about these 5 ways. Real-time availability. Summon over Alma provides real-time availability of physical items in your collection. In your Summon search results, you can instantly see whether that item, whether a book, journal, DVD, or other type, is available for checkout. Previously in Summon with Voyager, users saw the message check availability as a link to click through to the library catalog to find the item's status. Summon over Alma can truly be said to function as an OPAC. Course reserves. Summon over Alma integrates with Alma to allow users to search and browse course reserves. To do this, Summon uses an Alma API. That sounds difficult, but it's very easy to configure. During implementation or any time after, you simply get an API key from Ex Libris and enter it into the field in the Summon Administrative Course Reserves page. This adds a course reserve link at the top of the Summon page and adds a course reserves facet on the search results page if you enable this. Third is a journal search and citation linker. Summon over Alma provides a journal search and citation linker page accessible from a configurable menu in Summon. These are similar to the ones in 360 Link eJournal Portal, except they are built-in Alma services. Also, Summon over Alma provides access to your library account in Alma. You can view your items on loan, your requests, any fines and fees, and blocks and messages. If allowed, you can renew your items yourself. You can place and cancel requests yourself as well. Again, Summon over Alma functions as a self-service OPAC. And that final integration I'll talk about is the ability of Alma to publish library print, electronic, and digital holdings to Summon. Alma allows you to schedule jobs to publish Alma records to Summon daily. All right, for the second half of this talk, I'll discuss Summon over Alma documentation and some of the limitations of it we found as we went through our migration. If you have followed the library technology field over the past decade, you'll know that Summon and 360 Link were developed by Serial Solutions, which was purchased by ProQuest in 2011. Ex Libris already had their own discovery service, Primo. Alma was developed with Primo in mind as its public interface. But the developers at Ex Libris did a very good job of integrating Alma and Summon. However, the Alma documentation hasn't been fully updated to reflect that Alma customers might be running Summon instead of Primo or Primo VE. During my library's implementation of Alma over the course of 2019, I frequently came across instances where the Alma documentation gave instructions for Primo, but not for Summon. Sometimes the configurations apply to Summon, but mostly they do not. Much of the implementation information was consolidated into a single guide titled Alma Summon Integration. It's a very useful guide, however, it is not complete. During our implementation, I found useful information in sometimes surprising places. For example, there are 3 training videos for Summon over Alma, and each video has a corresponding handout with useful Summon over Alma information, but they're not obvious, and they're difficult to find unless you know where they are. During our Alma migration, I was looking for information so often at the various Ex Libris sites that I created an Ex Libris search page, which you can see here. It's located at library.eriu.edu/EL-search. This is essentially a Google custom search engine that searches the 3 Ex Libris sites listed there on the screen. If you perform a search for the actual product name Summon over Alma, you get very few results. One of those is simply a list of Summon over Alma instances I compiled during our migration. If you search for those same words without the quotes, you will get a few more results, but still not the Alma Summon integration guide on the first page or 2 of results. If you go over to the Ex Libris Customer Knowledge Center and select Summon as the product and search for Summon over Alma with no quotes, you will not find the Alma Summon integration guide. However, if you select Alma as the product and do the same search, yeah, you will see the Alma Summon integration guide as the first result. So I'll give you 3 examples where Alma documentation did not provide instructions for Summon over Alma users. First example is with the journals by category feature. The Summon over Alma journal search page has an optional feature to browse journals by category on the left side of the screen. This feature wasn't enabled by default for us, but I saw it on a few other Alma instances during my search, and we decided that we wanted this feature. Searching the Ex Libris documentation for Summon journals by category gave me 0 results. Searching for Alma journals by category gave me 3 results, the closest relevant result being for Primo VE. Now, sometimes Primo instructions work for Summon, so I selected the Configuring Journal Search for Primo VE product documentation page. Following the Browsing Journals by Category instructions, you'll find they refer to a tab that doesn't exist, which contains a crucial checkbox that can't be accessed. We learned from our implementation team that for Summon, you must simply enable and schedule a Creates Journal Categories file job to make the Journals by Category list display. During my search for other Summon over Alma instances, I found many institutions that did not have this feature enabled, and I wondered why that was, and if it was because they couldn't figure out how to enable it. But if you don't have that turned on and you want it, now you know how to do it. Second example is Alma code tables. Most of the wording on the Alma services pages can be customized. This is done by editing the labels located in Alma code tables. This is an instance where there is documentation for Summon over Alma users. However, the list of relevant code tables is missing at least 4 relevant tables. And you can see those 4 tables on the slide. And my third example is with the Alma help pages. On many screens, when you're inside of Alma, there is a help for this page link in the top right-hand corner of the screen that takes you to an online help document. Nearly all of these help pages assume that you are running Primo, and the Summon customer is left guessing if the instructions apply. They often do, but sometimes you'll reach a step that doesn't match with your Summon over Alma setup. For example, if you're on the Alma configuration, fulfillment, discovery interface display logic, general electronic services page inside Alma, and use the help for this page link, you will go to the discovery interface display logic online help page at the configuration general electronic services section. And if all that didn't make any sense, the basic point is that you end up on this service page that says this section only applies to Primo, and with a link also configuring services for Primo VE, but not Summon. There is a guide called Adding a Delivery-Related General Electronic Services help page, but you would have to go into the Knowledge Center and find it for yourself. So what can be done with the documentation for Summon over Alma? I brought this problem up with the Summon Product Working Group in the December 2019 meeting. Other members agreed that Alma and Summon over Alma documentation was often confusing. So I was tasked with starting supplemental Summon over Alma documentation, and we came up with a few solutions. For the Alma online help pages I mentioned, there isn't anything the working group can do other than to note the problem pages and submit the list to Ex Libris. Most of the solution would be to add a few words noting that the instructions apply to Primo and Summon, or to link to instructions for Summon over Alma where different, and we'll do that. The same applies to the Alma code tables. We can alert Ex Libris to which additional code tables are relevant to Summon over Alma, and we'll do that as well. Finally, we will create and post supplemental configuration and customization guides for Summon over Alma to the Ex Libris Customer Knowledge Center. And my proposal there was to start at the public Summon over Alma pages, in the Alma services pages, and work back to where the documentation is or should be to configure that page or that section or that element in the documentation. So if you are a Summon over Alma customer and want to contribute to the project, please contact me. Thanks.
Well, thank you, James. Okay, well, I think then that's all we have for today. Thank you again so much, everyone, for joining us. If you have further questions or just want to reach out to the group, I provided the emails of the presenters on the screen. And thank you again for coming.